Howdy and aloha. Welcome to Mana Talk. The earth and you are ohana. We hope you stay and talk.
Howdy and aloha, everybody. This is James with Mana Talk. It is August 14th, 2023, Maui. What the hell's going on in Maui? It's a land grab after the fact that a lot of that land out there is already pre-designated for a smart city. And if you know what a smart city is, some people don't, which is interesting. It's a place where the World Economic Forum wants you to live within 15 minutes of everything, ride a bike, but you're completely enclosed, you're completely enslaved in a sense in that city. That's it. That's what you do, that's where you're at, that's where you're going. And it has a lot to do with central bank digital currency and social control. Very dystopian, very authoritarian, and their worldview is, of course, to eliminate as many people on the planet and to put you guys all in little 15-minute smart cities, which is fucking stupid and idiotic and it's complete lunacy. But this is the plan. Now, everybody's saying, well, it could be this and it could be that and it could be this and it could be that. You know, it could be lasers. So the question is how did it start? It's like perfect timing when, and I was off about the winds. They were high. They were, they had gusts of like 60 miles an hour and stuff like that, which was blowing onshore and offshore. It's just all over the place. Hurricane winds don't really move. I've been in a few of them, and surfed on those days, which is a lot of fun. They're kind of all over the place. So because this cell of the storm is moving in different directions, which means that it could be coming from this way, and then as the storm comes, it pushes the wind that way. But the timing couldn't have been better for this to happen. I've kind of gone over all the theories and all the different speculations and assumptions. And I think what's important for the people of Hawaii, and I know they know this, is they want answers. They want to know. I mean, things happen, things catch on fire. But for this to happen during a time with vegetation that's, you have to pour gasoline on this stuff to fucking light it on fire. I don't care how dry it is in Hawaii. I'm just telling you. I think the biggest forest fire they ever had was a few acres or something like that, which doused itself. But for this to happen, jumping from, in a sense, from house to building, and a short time with the wind could help that. There's no doubt. I've gone over everything. I've looked into the satellite imaging and a few other things, which I'm going to get to right now, and just kind of break it down. Just quickly break it down. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on it, but for example, let me just kind of give you the map, basically, of Hawaii, right? And so this right here, where you were just watching, was in the beginning was surfing, right? And down over there, why is that up? Hopefully my pointer will show up. Ma'alea. That is called freight trains. The freaking let's see if it's still up. No, it's not up. But anyway, That is what the hell happened to my thing? Okay, so that so you can see Lahaina up here at the north of Maale where the surfing was. And I'm just telling you, I know guys that have surfed that place. It's fucking badass. There's a place like that, but it goes left called Pacala's in Kauai on the east, on the northwestern coast. Sorry, the west coast. When it's perfect offshore, big barreling waves, and these things line up like freight trains. It's freaking awesome. There's a few places like that in Hawaii. Of course, they've got the best surfing in the world. But Lahaina is up there at the top left. And what I've been seeing with a lot of, let me see if I got the caption here. Where is it? Oh, for God's sakes. Is that it? Oh. Yeah, there it is. Okay, sorry. Um, Lots of devastation. Very bad. The death toll that's being reported is basically what's gained every time they fully confirm somebody's actually gone dead. There's a lot of people missing, but most locals are saying it's in the hundreds, possibly thousand, over 1,000 people. The biggest problem I have with this, whether it's a laser that came from space or a drone or somebody, planted some kind of ignition liquid somewhere that's untraceable. I don't know, whatever. It's the response that pisses me off. It's the system that allowed people to continue to go about their business while this giant fire is continually getting bigger. That's my biggest concern. The governor of Maui, I believe, his name is Josh Green, and he's a Democrat, doesn't have an answer. This guy doesn't have a fucking answer of why the emergency system that's supposed to work. Why does it seem like it's off all the time? Is it this way? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Whatever. It doesn't matter. The emergency system that comes on. Like you guys have to remember that back in, I think it was 2018, 19. There were a bunch of there was when they had there was like an attack or something that was happening, and I'm trying to get specifics on it. When they had to use cell phones, emergency cell phones. They have emergency cell phones. They have these emergency cell phone systems that didn't work, right? For some reason, their siren systems didn't work for some fucking crazy ass reason, and the response from the fire teams, which were all, there's 9,000 people in Lahaina. There's not a bunch of people there in that little city, and but throughout anyway, there's just not a giant fire department there. That doesn't really. There's not a lot going on as far as fires are concerned. They're not prepared for somebody igniting 50 structures or some laser, blasting structures and property and land across a small town. They're not prepared for anything. It's because they rarely get any fire issues. It's so moist and so humid. That's why they're allowed to have fireworks. They're just like Missouri, just like West Virginia, just like certain places in the South, except for some of the drier cities, which I can understand why. You don't want to have. You don't really need. you want people to be able to celebrate the 4th of July, right? It's always firecrackers or New Year's Eve, right? And in Hawaii, you can do that, because it's not a big giant threat. You might have a little kitchen fire. You might have somebody stupid garage accident. Who fucking knows, or some condo or Airbnb or who knows, whatever. But what I'm saying is, it's just very rare for this to happen. So they're not really prepared to take on such a giant task, which is also a problem. The biggest thing that caught my attention was this girl, which I'm gonna play for you now. If I can, oh darn it, do I have it? Yeah, it's this one right here, and I'm just gonna read it to you. If I'll bring it up, I want you to read it as well. This is on TikTok. Just be careful going on TikTok. There's a lot of crazy shit on TikTok. A lot of crazy shit. All right. So first of all, I better pause it. I like to eat I got a little bowl of fruit. Plums, blackberries, blueberries, and my pineapple. Man, talk about a fruity deliciousness. So she says, it all makes sense when you know the plan. The government of Hawaii State's goal for rebuild is to make an entire island of Maui the first smart island. They want to enter island governed by AI as outlined in the Hawaiian Digital Government Summit of 2023. They have planned to host next month, Monday, September 25th on Maui. And there's more information on that. Now, what I did is I wanted to check this out. So I went to the site. I wanted to check out what the fuck is this shit all about, right? And it's about control. I mean, when you go through it, just go to I'll, if you want the link, just let me know. Let's see if anybody shared numbers here. I could get. But it clearly shows that's their plan. That's not bullshit. I love it when people leave links. They just don't say shit like you're supposed to, like we're supposed to believe you. That's a big fucking problem on TikTok and social media, period. It just fucking drives me batty when people put shit up and they don't at least provide a link or have a link or a picture of the link. But this brilliant woman provided a link so that so others could research what was going on or what she's finding. And it gives us the ability to do our own research, which everybody should. There's a lot. I mean, after you've worked all day, right? I do my 40 every week, maybe a little longer. It depends if most people fucking call in sick all the time. Anyway. It gives you a little time. Just spend a few hours researching in Brave or DuckDuckGo or Google or wherever, and just follow some links. Go on YouTube. I always say, YouTube is the greatest source of information. Rumble's a good source of information. Odyssey's a good source. BitChute is a good source. Gab has information. Not just X/Twitter is information. But anytime you find something, I always say, chickadee, check yourself before you wreck yourself. Do your own due diligence and do your research. So I looked in, like I said, with what she has here, and I found, the information that she had stated on what's going on. So back in 2022, they had this meeting, right? The Honorable David Y. Ig is the biggest piece of crap that Hawaii's ever had. He's destroyed that state. A Democrat destroyed the state. It's just fucking common now. It's just so terrible. These people are just destroying the state by state by state. Just literally destroying state by state by state. It just seems like that. It truly appears that that's their plan. Which, you know, if you were Klaus Schwab, you'd be happy, and if you were about that, if you were Yuval Harari, you would be happy about that. If you were Larry Fink, or who's the BlackRock guy? Larry Fink, Link, whatever. You'd be happy about that too, because that's their plan. Like I said in my videos, I say it all the time. Their goal is they're just trying to hoard the planet for themselves, and they're going to put you in these camps like the Nazis used to do. That's all a 15-minute city is. As you look at it, as you pan out and look at the big picture, it's just a concentration camp. Concentrating on control. The concentration for concentration camp means, this is where people don't go get, is to concentrate on these people, to control these people, to get as much information, as much of what they can out of people. That's what a concentration camp is. And then if you're not complying, if you're not meek, malleable, and obedient, like I've seen most Democrats recently, which is sad, that, you know, just not asking questions. Just ask the fucking questions. Just you know, hey, authority, and the sources that you brought. I have a few questions, because none of this fucking makes sense. So this is where I'm getting to in regards to what happened and how the response happened. Is it just really appears, it just very much, you know, my conclusion is this. This is a definite land grab. And the land grab, from what this one girl said, let me see if I can bring that one up. I think I can. I think I grabbed this one. Hang on. Was it this one? Yeah, I have it. Just a second. It was this lady here, which I don't even know if she's in Hawaii. I think this could just be just an act, because I don't know. But she did say something very interesting here, and I'm gonna play it. I'll turn the sound on. Fuck it.
This was a direct energy attack on the people and the place of Maui.
All right.
From the east, there were trees standing and the buildings gone. This system, this weather system, came in from the mountains, from the east. That does not happen. They were not telling people anything. They were not letting people in to help. And they were letting people go in to get burned alive. There were people burning alive in the streets. There were people dead in the water. There were hundreds, if not thousands, of people that died. What they're telling you in the news is not true, and I lived it firsthand.
Sounds bad.
I sat with the people. This is not to bring fear. This is to educate, because there is darkness that is being hidden. And soon people are going to see. I know now why Gaia sent me there. And I'm going to use this platform. There was no warning. There was no nothing.
What is Gaia?
Please boost this post.
Where's the... Did I miss it?
See this. I don't give a fuck about me. I want everybody to see this. What lives there? What descendants live there?
That's
you know
the one.
why.
That's the one.
And you know what lives there. What descendants live there? You know why. And you know why it happened on 8/8. What lives there? What descendants live there? You know why.
That's what I wanted to get to. Okay. So here's what I believe is the reason why they had to take out this specific area, because these specific areas, or area that was taken out, puts the land into control of the government. Once FEMA comes down the street, it's time to fucking utilize your Second Amendment. I'm just telling you. Because those people are fucking messed up. Those people they're the land grabbers. Those are the that's like a repo truck coming down the street. They're gonna take your shit, but they don't have a they're not legally doing it. They're what do they fucking call it? Squat, not squatter. Anyway, they're just fucking land stealers. That's all FEMA is. They go everywhere and they steal fucking land. So FEMA is not your friend. I don't care what you say or what you think. I've done a lot of research on these fuckers. They're not your friend. As a matter of fact, the United States government right now, under the Biden administration, is your fucking one of your biggest enemies. That's one of your most threatening enemies out there, right? Which brings me to say, that's why I joined what did I join? Frontline Defenders? NAGR, National Association for Gun Rights, which I believe in now more than anything, because I do not trust the FBI, I do not trust the CIA, I do not trust the Homeland Security, I do not trust the CDC, I do not trust the FDA in any way, I do not trust the NIH, I don't trust Health and Human Services, I don't trust any federal department, legislator, judiciary, executive, connected to this administration. Their goal. They are the puppets of the World Economic Forum, and these people. That's what they are. But anyway, so let's get to what she's talking about. I think it's important that we find out who are you talking about. All right? Did it just move? I'm going to click on something and it goes somewhere else. Okay, it's there. Is it her? Is it here? Here it is. So this lady, her name is Abigail Kawana. I'm going to try to say that. Kawa'a Nana Okoa. Kawa'a Nana Okoa. If you saw her whole name, I'll bet, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to show you her whole name, just to mess with your. Try to say this 5 times as fast as you can. Abigail Kani Oiki ke e kaulike kava ana akoa. I suck at Hawaiian. It's terrible because I'm 42% Hawaiian. Anyway, but she's known as the Last Princess. That's her gig. And she died at 96 years old, December 11, 2022, which is just amazing. And I bet she had a wonderful life. I think I had some really wonderful pictures. This lady was amazing. But she owns a shit ton of land. And she's worth... she's worth $215 million, or was worth. But there's all her, I think that's her husband there, and that's her granddaughter. Right? And if you look at her, she looks white, but she's not. She's Hapa. She's half Hawaiian, like me. Right? She got kind of fair skin. I wish I had that one picture of her. Is this it right here? Wait. Kalani. There's a one. No. Maybe it's right here. Analysis burning of Lahaina's sacred sites is a major loss for Native Hawaiians. Yeah. Did you get that? Did you see that part? This is not good. So what's going to happen is her land could be taken. And her land is all over Lahaina. She's the descendant of Kamehameha. Right? The king of Hawaii. Right? I'm not really big on the monarchy shit, but we owned the land before anybody else did. We were just, breeding, catching fish and surfing. Next thing you know, these fucking trees shows up on these big canoes with these flappy sails on them, or sheets or whatever they were, and then they just changed our languages and stole our land, basically. I mean, I don't know what else to say. And enslaved us as well. So not only were we enslaved, but they stole our land. So, talk about reparations. Right? And these guys are asking for like $5 million a piece in San Francisco. Okay. Anyway, so here's the biggest problem that I think here's the biggest issue and I think fight that they need to, that this island and its people need to be doing, because no matter how it started, right? Maybe it was, and I've got them here. There's a bunch of information here in regards to weapons coming from the sky or from drones. I mean, this guy's just. Let me just show you this quick clip of what this guy's fucking talking about. Right?
Weapons actually work.
Yeah, there's really two kinds of laser technologies right now. Distributed gain, which is a series of slabs, and you beam energy into one and hit them serially, and it amplifies until you have a coherent beam of laser energy coming out the other end. And then you have spectral beam combination, which is a bunch of fiber lasers, individual lasers, kind of look like communications laser.
She has no idea what the fuck that guy's talking about. She's like, I don't know what you're saying right now.
Fibers, and they're spectrally combined to form, again, a coherent beam of energy.
She's talking about fiber
that
optics.
can hit a target at short to medium ranges.
So they use electricity. So where do they get their power source?
Yes. Well, I'll tell you that the Army is scheduled to deploy a 300 kilowatt laser this November to a range to test it, and it'll be all contained on an Oshkosh heavy truck with a generator to provide the power source, the cooling, the laser, and the beam director, all contained, forming a highly mobile package that can emit a beam of energy of 300 kilowatts, which would be good for many different kinds of cruise missiles, as well as the other threats that I mentioned.
So let's talk about the benefits, because one big benefit is you don't need to reload. There's no supply chain for ammunition.
That's absolutely correct, and that's critical because our Air Force is, and our Marine Corps, and of course the Army is developing concepts for conducting highly distributed operations to reduce their vulnerability to attack by China and Russia and other adversaries. So if you're highly mobile,
or to attack
your,
ourselves.
Basing your posture around frequently, you need mobile defenses. You need to reduce
take
the
that card off the
logistics to
table.
support those kinds of defenses, and that's exactly what directed energy weapons do. You don't need to reload them with large missiles like you would a Patriot missile battery. There's one other advantage. These weapons are electrically powered, so they're cheap. A laser shot might cost the price of you and I going to Starbucks for coffee. Compared
Nothing
to
in DOD is that cheap.
That's true, but compared to a $4.3 million Patriot missile, which doesn't make sense against some of the threats that we would have to use them against today, since we don't have operational lasers.
All right, well, let's talk about the range, though, because doesn't it become more expensive as you get farther and you need more energy?
Yes, it does, but you also need better beam quality of lasers, too. It's not just the energy output, but the beam quality. And lasers are going to be best at short to medium range kills, frankly. High-powered microwave weapons, which we just barely touched on, they're medium to longer range. But the fact is, you need a combination of kinetic and non-kinetic, including directed energy weapons, to handle the thousands of ballistic missiles, cruise missiles.
Yeah, so it takes a lot to pull that off, right?
Directed energy weapons, such as high-energy lasers and high-powered microwaves. These weapons can disrupt or destroy their targets at the speed of light. For example, DoD has developed high-energy lasers that have successfully shot down drones, but speed isn't their only advantage. They're also less expensive per use than traditional weapons like guns and missiles. Despite those potential advantages, DoD has had trouble getting these technologies out of the lab and into service. The Army has developed a detailed transition plan to support moving these weapons into the next stages of development. We recommended that the Navy and the Air Force develop similar plans.
When was that? That was 3 months ago. Let's watch this guy.
Hypersonic weapons and integrate them into its airborne platforms to get the desired range and accuracy. What are directed energy weapons and hypersonic weapons? A directed energy weapon damages or destroys its target using focused energy by means of lasers, microwaves, or particle beams. Some of the directed energy weapons include microwave weapons, lasers weapons, drone defense systems, etc. On the other hand, a hypersonic weapon is one that can hit its target 5 to 10 times the speed of sound.
So there's plenty of information. Here's, I don't know if this is fake or real, but laser beam strikes house in Chile. Watch. Boom. Looks pretty real to me. Very well done. If somebody fucking... I wonder what the... So, what are the... Yeah, sorry about that. My Nintendo Switch has been malfunctioning. Call the orbital cannon. Who called the orbital cannon on my dog? Death Star. What are the same thing they used to set Wi-Fi? Oh. This was on the MTG was warning. Oh. Major, she was talking about this? Don't bright flashes cause artificial like that. That's, let me see, this is possible set of with the laser gun. So here's the problem with igniting it from a satellite. I'm going to tell you right now. And by the way,
Space Force, or USSF, is a department of the armed forces tasked with handling...
Space Force is real. Okay? So if you don't need to be in space to set these things up. A lot of this stuff is a lot more compact and smaller than you think, and it doesn't take much to ignite this, to get this started. And you can, if you could be at 20,000 feet or 30,000 feet, which is what a usual aircraft flies at, 35,000 feet. Like your domestic flights, you know, United States, yeah, American, Delta, and all that stuff. Remember Continental Airlines? Does anybody remember Continental Airlines? They used to be really awesome. Anyway, but Space Force has a serious program in a lot of this
basically everything that has to do with space in the United States. They existed as the Air Force Space Command under the U.S. Army from 1982 to 2019. Before the then U.S. President Donald Trump made them an independent uniformed service, like, say, the Air Force. The Space Force was officially founded in December 2019, with the U.S. realizing and acknowledging just how much of a vantage point space would be in modern wars. Hopefully, we never find out in practice. Hopefully. On paper, however, space is a military goldmine, if utilized to the max. According to Wikipedia, the Space Force remains the smallest armed service in the U.S., with 6,434 personnel, supported by 77 spacecraft.
That's crazy. That's a real fucking outfit. Space Force. And it was, I think it was it on Netflix or Hulu? And I forgot the name of the ding-dong that used to fucking... the guy in 40-Year-Old Virgin, it'll come to me. He was in this series with Malkovich and a few others. And it was just the dumbest fucking series. And it was called Space Force. Just fucking the dumbest fucking... It was terrible. It was I just watched it just to see how worse it was going to get that day. It was just disgusting. But anyway, so Space Force is a serious entity. There's 6,434 personnel with 77 aircraft, and most of those aircraft are aircraft that can go, you know, up in space. That's why therecraft. Anyway, So let's just, so there is a force out there. They do have the technology. Don't think they don't have the technology to ignite that or start this or move this or do that. And they're all over the place. And the military satellites that are out there, there's a bunch of them. We have a ton of them. There are 123 military satellites run by the United States that orbit the Earth. 123. Now, I want you to keep in mind, okay, the total number of military satellites in the world is approximately 320, with some countries owning several, with others having none, right? So let me just dive into this real quick. Is this commercial? Fuck. Frankly, the road to Social Security Act. See here. So the United States, I'm not sure how this works. I'm not going to get into all that, but they're out there. There are 100. Now, just I want you to keep in mind, right? I want you to keep in mind, Pedo Joe is in control of these military satellites. Pedo Joe is in control of 103 military satellites. And this guy, which is really sad, they asked him about Maui, and he said no comment, meaning that there's some bad anytime somebody doesn't answer a question on something that severe, it means they're implicit. They're complicit. Not complicit. It means that he's part of it. He's part of this, and he's been part of the scam for a long time. I'm still trying to wrap around my head why his right ear used to have an earlobe and now it doesn't. It's kind of weird, and his face just looks totally different. So who knows if that's really him? I'm just saying. But anyway, besides that, this video here is just to let you know the reason why I'm putting this out there. Is the descendants, that's my biggest point, basically. The descendants, what is this for? What is this? Country with the most satellites in space. Oh, here's a good one. That's pretty crazy. Are you guys seeing that? That's pretty crazy. Right? Look at that. With the most satellites in space. The United States has 3,415 satellites. China has 535 satellites. Right? Canada has 56 fucking satellites. What the fuck? There's a video of satellites orbiting. And to show you the mess that we have, I'm actually going to show you. Okay. I think it's all. Now watch this shit. This is fucking nuts. This one, that's not it. Hold on. I just had it. Oh, there it is. Okay. Right here. We're going to go here. And here. There you go. Boop. It's going to freak you out. This is really happening in real time right now. And I'm going to take my stupid ass out of the way so you can see what the potential is for something.
3, 2, 1.
Watch, is that nuts? Just no, that really happens right now. So is it too much to say? Is it too much to say, by looking at all this, is it just too much to say maybe they are able to ignite a few satellites? Right? Thing wouldn't fucking keep bringing up. I want to stop it where you can just see all the satellites, but this. Oh, here's a good one right here. Hello. Where? Where's that? I've seen this before, where they show no, let's go back to the other one. Yeah, that's crazy. 6,542 satellites are orbiting the Earth. A lot of these satellites aren't even working. Half of them aren't even active. It's just space junk. Are you watching that? That's crazy. Yeah, so whether it came from a drone or somebody planted, explosives or something, the point I'm really trying to get to is they're coming after you. These like, for example, in the derailment in Palestine, Ohio, I think it was, right? And a bunch of other chemical and explosion things that happen were in areas where now they want to create, where they were designated for smart cities. Is that so? The prerequisite, and I'll just leave you with this. The prerequisite to a smart city is going to be destruction. They have to make it inhabitable, or they have to label it as it can't be used for public use anymore, where you can buy the land and all that. So that's what they're doing. That's what they do. Not sure how it all started. I don't think that's important, That's fucking important. People want to know what the fuck happened. I think it was created. Who knows? Could have been a drone. Could have been a drone flying around, just going burp, 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 burp. You won't see it. It's too fast. The laser isn't colored red like Darth Vader's fucking laser saber. You know, it's not colored green or blue, I guess, like Skywalker's, you know, lightsaber. It doesn't work that way. You won't see it. And the only way you'll see it is you might see some molecules burning because it's going through like a haze or, you know. So by the time it hits the ground, it might not be as strong, but maybe enough to ignite things. So if you could just shoot it, and pepper stuff. Start this little fire, start that little fire, get some wind and oxygen, get they call the fire triangle, which is oxygen, the source, and heat. All you need is heat, oxygen, and fuel. And fuel could be wood, could be plastic. That's the fire. And once you get that together with a laser, boop, it's it. It's over. You know, you got yourself a fire. And then to keep it burning and moving in a certain direction, you need wind. And the wind that you needed is what you need. But the biggest thing that I have about this is they're trying to set this up. And I really believe that whoever owns the land, whether it's mostly the sacred Hawaiians, and it could be still, you know, the analysis burning of Lahaina's sacred sites is major loss for Native Hawaiian. Yeah, this is a major loss. I mean, even the problem with mainstream media is sometimes somebody's like throwing out a clue to us, you know, and they don't realize it, right? Because this is serious here. Burning of Lahaina's sacred sites is a major loss for Native Hawaiians, right? Especially the one that owned most of the land out there, right? The last princess, right? So the story here and what basically is, I believe, the biggest thing that the people of Hawaii need to be concerned about is how they're going to are they just going to bring Lahaina back the way it was, which was fine, or are they going to implement and force the smart city structure? And they want to create a smart island. They're talking about that all the time. That's in the information that's on this site right here. Where is it? Yeah, right here. These people here. Government technology. It's called the something summit. Technology, Public Education, the Hawaiian Digital Government Summit. The 2022 Hawaii Digital Government Summit. And I think, I was at the, so, and then they have another summit coming up. These are past summits. They have another one coming up August, September. Did I already go? Let's see if yeah. They have one coming, and if you have one of these summits in your town, I'm just going to tell you right now, go there. That's probably something I should tell you right now. So go to this site. I'll put the site in the link. But you should go and say fuck you and your smart cities. This is where you want to go to do that. Because they've got these little digital government summit. There's one here in Iowa, Snork, and the Bay, of course, the Bay Area is Kansas. There's none in Missouri, which is good. Thank the gods. Thank the gods, right? Helping the mid-sized government cloud, June, July, August, 23rd, August, right? They've had some in different cities. But if they've got one in your city, there's one in Alaska, Georgia, of course, California, West Virginia. I would go to this. There's one on October 17th. If you're paying attention, somebody out there, I would say go to this and find out what this shit is about. You don't want this. You don't want this. at all. It's just total. It'll start off really sweet and nice the way they're going to paint all this shit. That's how they're going to do it. They paint everything is always like wonderful and great. They're doing that, but it's not. It's just to make them more powerful. It's just for them to be able to hoard the planet better. That's all this is about. It's about for them to be able to hoard and control and take as much away from the 99.9% as possible. That's it. If you think it's anything else, just, let me know. Because they don't need your money anymore. I already told you that. I've told you that for like almost 3 years now. They don't fucking need your money. They got plenty of money. Once they have central bank digital currency, they won't need you or your money. Once they have AI and robots or whatever they fucking need and slaves and implants and shit, they don't need any of you. These people are at that point. They are at that point. They want it all for themselves. That's the goal. So it's either the 99.9% of the people on the planet, right, which is about 7 billion fucking people, wake the hell up and say, fuck you and the fucking dystopian, tyrannical, authoritarian horse that you rode in on. Or, just bend the fuck over and just get down on your knees and fucking worship them. Keep worshiping Bill Gates. Keep worshiping Fauci. Keep worshiping Klaus Schwab. Keep worshiping these fucking sick these Pedo-Predator Class, aka World Economic Forum fuckers. Keep doing it. You're helping them to kill us and everybody else. Why is this off here? I need to fix this. Okay. I always employ everybody. Call 202-224-3121. Call your senator. Say no more World Economic Forum shit at all. Eradicate them. Remove them. Put them in fucking jail. No more WHO fucking people. Remove them. Eradicate them. Put them in jail. No NATO. Eradicate them. Put them in jail. That's just a bunch of fucking Nazis. UN real Nazis. Go to stopthewef.org or DIYliberty.org and just see what probably the best way to protest. Be an individual. Go out there for yourself. If you want to go out on behalf of Trump, or if you want to go out there on behalf of whatever your group is or whatever, that's fine. But you're doing it for your own research. I just say it to go out as an individual because then you can't become compromised by somebody else that breaks a window or gets stupid or decides to, jump the fence and go on the other side. You can't be compromised. You have a God-given, inalienable right to fucking speak your mind, period. Whether there's a constitution or not. Whether somebody's created a writing that said that you can or not, you just can't. But there are laws and rules that you have to abide by, and if you go by yourself, the biggest thing is you don't have to get a permit. If 50 people show up on a fucking street corner and they say, oh, I'm by myself. Next I go, oh, I'm by myself. Then they can't fine you. As long as you're walking to one corner and then across the street and then another corner. Maybe you buy a candy bar at the liquor store. You can stay there all fucking day. They can't do shit about it. Hello? Your individual rights are so powerful. That's all I have to say. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you're paying attention, hopefully you are. We have a serious problem with the administration. These people right now are all in with the World Economic Forum and their heinous, dystopian, draconian, pathetically fucked up lunacy type agenda that the World Economic Forum wants. And they're in on it. There are a few Republicans too. There's a few Republicans out there that are fucking in. I'd say at least 90+% of the Democrats are fucking all in with this shit. I'd say 98. Make it even higher. And I'd say there's like 20, 30, 40, maybe even 50% Republicans that know what's happening and are letting it or allowing it. Keep your eye on McCarthy because I think that motherfucker's full of shit. He used to be a young globalist. I want to hear him say, I denounce the World Economic Forum. I can't wait to hear somebody say that. But people won't, because that's where money comes from. A lot of money comes from there. Aloha. Thank you for being here. Aloha. Yeah, you guys want to keep that land, do whatever you can in Hawaii. Fight against those people. If they start to say, well, we need to procure, and we need to secure, and we need to make sure that this land is safe, so the government's going to take over. No, fight for it, everybody. I mean, literally fucking fight for it, physically if you have to, because these fucking people are going to try to take your land. If you think that's not the case, just watch what happens, because they've already planned it. I just showed you. You can go to the fucking website. They've already got it planned already. Just how convenient that the big fire took out most of the fucking city. Aloha. Burp, chocolate.